Good afternoon and welcome to the first ever Shadows live stream here at Ice Sheffield. It is a WNIHL 1 fixture between the Sheffield Shadows and the league leaders in the north. It is the Kingston Diamonds. My name is Dylan Pick and I'll be taking you through all of the action today here from the Bauer Arena. Both teams are ready. I hope you're ready at home for what's going to be a fantastic game of hockey on the cards in a Yorkshire derby. We're off and away. The opening face-off goes the way of the Shadows. It comes out towards Emma Taylor-Lonsdale, who just has it pinned back in her own zone briefly. Katie Marsden for the Diamonds couldn't push it forward. So the Shadows do have a bit of space to break out on this left-hand side. Katie Marsden, though, going full circle and swipe that away. She's now going to step forward, plays with shot low, tries to chase the rebound in, and then a backhand goes through the 5-hole and trying to scramble to hold on to it, but the Diamonds push it home, and a messy start for the Shadows gets the visitors off to a 1-0 lead. Well, Katie Marsden started that playoff picking the pocket of one of the Shadows wingers down in front of the Shadows bench and then curling round the zone. The Shadows players couldn't clear it out of the crease, and in the end, strength moving forward, the Shadows succumbed to the first goal in the game in about 30 seconds, and straight away Kingston moving forward again with Marsden. 3 players swarm on her before the Shadows eventually are able to push it round the boards. Can't be kept in by Mia Forbes, and the Shadows get their first look in the offensive zone. Played low off the post. So close to tying it up there at 1 apiece, and now we're going to charge back the other way. This is Saunders. That's just easily blocked away there by Jess Kinghorn. The Shadows played into the corner and will just get a change. With Gemma Wallace. That's taken off. It just floats its way down. Millie Fulborn unable to push the puck forward into the Shadows zone for the Diamonds. And now Ashton will help it on its way to Fulborn, but crossing over a teammate. Still maintaining possession though. Now up to Hayley Reynolds. She'll just backhand that back in towards the Kingston half. Give chase, but it's easily tied up by the Kingston defensive line. But offside they go. They'll touch that up. Kingston with their first scrappy play of the game. They'll have to head back in towards neutral ice. So then attacking forward, Diamonds on the blue line. It's trying to set someone up down in the face-off circle. It's unable to be kept in at the blue line, and now we'll start trying to force their way back in. The Shadows, you get the feeling with the top league undefeated Kingston Diamonds so far, 9 wins, 1 draw. They're going to be on top of the puck a lot of this game. The chances of the Shadows again, we're going to have to take advantage of. Especially with someone like Katie Marsden, who just 13 months ago was playing at this same venue in the Olympic qualifiers for Team Great Britain, where they ended up finishing second in the group. An overtime loss to the Netherlands saw them not see the final round of the competition that starts this coming week. What could have been, perhaps? Well, maybe the Shadows might be wishing her and Team Great Britain had booked their spot on the plane to Milan Cortina, as eliminating the Kingston number 14 will certainly give them an advantage. With Taylor, she'll just hold on to that. Jess Kinghorn, who you can't really fault the opening goal on her. Just beat her and got a little bit scrappy. going to face off. 3:26 played. Apologies for the messiness of the scoreboard. It's 1-0 to the Diamonds right now. We'll hopefully get that sorted for you when we can. Space out wide for the Shadows. The pass is just away from the intended target of Ketsia Robinson. Saunders able to work it out for the Diamonds, but collecting back on side, just but unable to control it was Robinson. Awkwardly bobbling up the stick, chasing was Elizabeth Saunders for the Diamonds, but she couldn't hold on to it. Taylor Lonsdale entering the zone is going to quickly wrist run in, but it's pushed aside by the netminder for the Diamonds. That's Emily Johnson. Just falling off the stick of Clara Ashton for the Diamonds, as she was looking to move forward with a little bit of speed. Alicia Potts just poked away from her, tied up again by the Diamonds and moving in towards the shadow zone pretty quickly. Scrum at the board, nicely held on to for the moment by the Diamonds, and Eva Rezai playing it back round to Katie Marsden. Diamonds getting a change defensively, so that should open a tiny bit of space on the ice as the Shadows step forward again. Offside they go, as drifting a long way offside. Down on that left wing was Alicia Potts. And a little too tentative there from Wilson Barrett to start an attacking play for the Shadows. We hit the post early on. He's trying to respond quickly to going 1-0 down, but since then they've not had a look towards the goal of Emily Johnson. Now with Marsden again. Down on the left wing. Has on a forehand, played in front. The initial save was made by Jess Kinghorn, and now going to get a little bit of pushing and shoving on the play. They weren't too happy with Shadows players for the late pokes on towards Kinghorn. We'll see if any penalties are going to come from it. It was a good initial save by Kinghorn, and it bounced just to the top of the crease. One of the Diamonds players tried having a whack at it, but couldn't get that baseball style goal. We'll maintain 5-on-5, and the referee's happy to let that side with the first warning. This time Taylor's pushed away from Kinghorn's goal before we get any sort of handbags. For Marsden, off the face-off play, up high, just maintained its position over the blue line. Pressed by Leah Cheatham. That took a little deflection, but the Diamonds still comfortably on control of the puck, trying to close in but unable to beat Taylor, and now we're going to get a whistle blow down the linesman, the back linesman blowing the play dead, or the back referee rather, in the two-man system. Got a full change in. The Kingston bench not too happy. They'll have to. They lose the zone because of it. But it's not going to be too long, you'd think, before they're back in towards the Shadows' third of the ice. The Shadows are going to have to play very smart here. Got to get the breakouts right. They're going to have to try and find a way to match, especially on the lower lines. Match the Diamonds for pace. It's played towards the Kingston goal. There's not a Diamonds player to tidy up. But as it was brought round the back of the net, Kingston able to move it forward. Stocks tries playing it across behind a goal, but it was briefly intercepted. The Shadows can't clear the blue line either. That one pushed aside by Kinghorn again, out into the corner. It's collected by Fulburn. Plays a lot of games here as well. There's a puck, well, it's blown dead, but it'd come out to the near side post, hadn't been covered up. The Shadows are protesting something. I've got a couple of players going to the box, it seems. There's going to be a 5-on-3 then. Got Alicia Potts. So Alicia Potts, 2 minutes for slashing in Tilly Rayner, 2 minutes for cross-checking. It's going to be a 5-on-3. And Potts fuming about it down in the Shadows penalty box, protesting the aggression towards their netminder after the whistle. And now just having a discussions with the Shadows bench. Back underway. It's good start for the kill. A good start to the kill rather for the Shadows, clearing it down the length for the ice. Pass wayward from Tate where it was aimed at, but Taylor is able to play it across to Katie Marsden on that far side wing, and now we'll start setting up a shape. Back door wide open for Tate, but snatches off the heel on the one-timer. Back around to Emerson. Bodies close in front. That was Stocks who pings that one out to the zone from a leg pad. And Emerson will have to collect in her own half and set up again. Tate. Couple of changes for the Diamonds coming in as well. They've got a trailing winger on the far side, but Marsden brings it down on the near side. Back up to the point for Cooper. Again, changing defence. Back up now with Cooper. Couple of bodies collapsing for the Shadows onto the near side, but quick little block again, and they're shaping up nicely. Couldn't clear it away though, stuck in between the feet of a few bodies, and the Diamonds get it moving back forward, back through the paint and out the other side. One timer again, and Mia Forbes unable to find the accuracy needed there. Couple of looks on this near side, but just gone wayward. To Marsden again, Cooper. That pass only crawled to the far side. That enabled the Shadows' bodies to get in front, and it's sourced out over the top. And there was only a handful of seconds left on the kill, and we'll have Rayner and Potts ready to come out of the box, and it's been a very good kill for the Shadows as we go back to 5-on-5. They move on forward again. Unable to push forward, waiting for the bodies out of the box. So it's Mia Forbes who plays it back round the back of the goal for the Diamonds. Good 50-50 win at the half boards, and now closing forward, fresh out the box. Then 1-on-0 and off the blocker. Alicia Potts trying to get a revenge. She felt aggrieved on the call. But standing tall, it's a great save by Johnson. Taylor. Has that poked away from by Allsop. Zalossi plays the pass behind Taylor Lonsdale. Shadow's nearly caught with too many players on the ice. Was able to shape up nicely though, and a loose pass from Taylor Lonsdale. This isn't going to make it for icing. Waved off, and Beatrice Lester's going to have to collect this behind her own goal line. Not tidied up in the end though by the Diamonds players, and that enables a shot on target. And they close in and force Johnson to hold on. We'll get an offensive zone face-off. Over halfway through this first period now. Still a 1-0 lead for the Diamonds. Apologies for scoreboard reading, a tie game. The closest the Shadows have come is a response 20 seconds after the Diamonds goal in the first minute. Just hit off the post, popped out the other side. That's a little bit lazy from Hazel Wilson. Stick up in the air. The pass was perfect to her, but you can't go tape to tape if there's no tape to hit. Awkward bounce off the boards gives possession back to the Shadows. Through the middle, Reynolds just off balance, couldn't control it. You'd think a bit more aggression on the forecheck there might have turned it over. Feeding through the middle, that's pushed aside by Yellow Bilby. Good bit of body work there from Matilda Rayner, and she's going to get called for it. You'd think an illegal hit call should come off the bench. It's a body checking call. Second power play of the game then for the Diamonds. 0 for 1 so far. It was a 5-on-3 as well. Attempt, but we've only got one shot on goal. Couple chances across the face of goal from Mia Forbes, but couldn't connect. And Emerson, oh, that hasn't taken off Taylor Lonsdale. A chance to go short-handed. Save made by Johnson, comes out to the opposite side and collecting again. It's Emma Taylor Lonsdale, and the Diamonds on the back foot to start this power play. And a pass should have gone off the boards, deflecting off the skate of Tate, but well recovered by Taylor Lonsdale again out in front. Just the wrong side of Ketsia Robinson. The Shadows mounting the pressure on here to start the period off. Oh, sorry, to start the second power play off of them. Now they'll get into the offensive zone. It's with Fulbourn. Tied up at the boards. Allsop tries to assist her teammate. Now the Diamonds put bodies in as well, and the scrum is going to get blown dead. Of the Shadows' bodies collapsing behind the goal line. They've recovered now. One-timer blocked by the leg of Stocks. She's been excellent on the penalty kill so far. Now round for Allsop. Nice little turn to try and evade Melissa Veal, and Stocks should be able to get it out of the zone. The backhand didn't have much weight to it, but Solossi able to help it on its way in the end. Tripping up over the goal there, something you don't see every day. And that's turned it over. They've got a body in front. God, Stocks just gets cut off in the end, and now the Diamonds come back with 20 seconds left. Saunders tips it into the zone. Got Marsden down at the hash marks. It's dropped off to her. She's closing down, cutting through bodies. Save made by Jess Kinghorn. And again, as the second stick down, and out comes Tilly Rayner. It's been an excellent work on the special teams so far for the Shadows, and a couple times they probably should have got a short-handed goal to start that kill. Now Marsden dangles away through. Just had to contend with the last body of Kelly Walsh. But that cut the angle off and sent the shot wide. Download trying to play it up in top of the crease, but there's not a green jersey there, and it pops out, and Leicester will settle it down again. Just awkwardly played in by Saunders to get a change in. You probably feel a little bit that more could have been done by the Diamonds there, as Ashton hits for it, nearly tripped up the oncoming yellow Bilby. As the Diamonds push it back down in towards the Shadow zone. Pouncing on the slow-moving Shadows players was Ashton. She nearly got fed through into the middle. Emerson backhands that back down into the corner. And a little bit of a rushed passage of play for the Diamonds. Still going to be kept in, though. Bit of rushing, probably worth its due that time from Emerson, but out of the corner not to be, and it's cleared out. Takes a deflection. It's not going to be icing. It allows fresh legs onto the ice into the final 5 minutes of this opening period. Potts, back door was there, trying to crash it home and seeing the puck late, but holding on to it. It's Emily Johnson. Backhanded into the slot area. The Diamonds couldn't connect though. Shadows at least able to clear it out. Now it's with Tilly Rayner, backhanded just away from Cheatham to push the play forward. And oh, it's brilliant work, a hopeful swipe, and Tate gets it through the 5-hole of Kinghorn. And the Shadows a little bit too slow in their own zone. In those danger areas, not quick enough to tidy it up. And the Diamonds, at the back end of this first period, find their second. Taylor Lonsdale, who started off to short-handed chances, pushing forward, the back door's there. And just missing on, I think that was Ishbel Wright. Not getting across the post there was Johnson. Wright just got some form of twig on the puck. I think we're back to a 1-goal game. Marsden plays that away. Down in towards the Shadows zone. Stocks quick to it. Off the ball to Taylor Lonsdale, and that's not able to be kept in by Zoe Marples. And again, no icing. So it's back with Katie Marsden. Fresh legs out for the Shadows into the final 3 minutes of this opening period. Stretched down the length of the ice, but Ashton has it bobble up her leg. And that turns possession back over to the Shadows, trying to feed it through. It deflects handedly towards Potts anyway. We're back at the blue line. It couldn't be kept in by yellow Bilby. But Potts tidies up and had a fair share of Women's Elite League games as well, Alicia Potts, but another top-class player stepping forward. It's Marsden and just getting the pass across, and it took 2 looks on the puck to tuck it home, but Millie Fulborn, the Sheffield native, down on what at times is home ice, is able to put it in on the back door, and those are the chances that the Shadows have missed. And well, when one side is going to make the most of those opportunities, scrappy or not, and the other side doesn't, it's always going to be a long day for this side that is struggling on converting those chances. But the last 7 or so minutes, probably had 3 or 4 turn towards the back door, which the Shadows should be putting 50% from home at least. They've not been able to, and now a 3-0 period and 2 goals in the space of 90 seconds. For a team that's defended so strong so far, and a bit of a wasted turnover as well. It gets the offensive face-off, but 2 bodies got there to the left of you on your inside, and you almost panic it towards the net. Could have been looking at a 2-on-1 as the body's collapsed into the puck holder on the near side. And Saunders, 90 seconds left in the period, behind the net, and Kinghorn's going to have to jump on that. It's hard into the goal. Leah Cheetham just took a heavy hit there after the whistle. So a minute 27 left in the opening period. Face off in the shadow zone. Unable to be cleared out, but there's should be pushing out with Cheetham, and now they will. Phoebe Gregg gets over the blue line. And Cheetham's going to set up in front of goal now. We'll get a switch as the fresh legs come out. And Allsop plays it back round into the corner. Gregg just deflecting off the leg of Eva Zlossi. And out it comes back in towards the shadow zone. Rayner trying to play it on quickly, but back turned to the puck was Phoebe Gregg. Although it's a nice little turnover. Emma Taylor-Lonsdale nearly tripped up. So has Gregg in the middle. Her stick gets tied up. And it is very well defended by Leicester. The Diamonds again tidy up their lines nicely. Taylor-Lonsdale coming back to support. There's a lot of Shadows players on the ice there. They probably got away with one. And now Ishbel Wright trying to flip a pass over, and it still somehow found its way in. That's got to have deflected off of one of the Diamonds players, you'd think. That is unfortunately messy. But the Shadows get their first on the board. And with 9 seconds left in the period, what a time to do it. It's Shadows 1, Diamonds 3. It was a good little hustle from Ishbel Wright in the corner, trying just doing a flipper pass over the top towards Emma Taylor-Lonsdale, who you have to say is probably looked the best forward on the ice so far for the Shadows this game. We'll try and get confirmation for you if Emma Taylor-Lonsdale got something on that, if it's going to effectively be an own goal with Ishbel Wright getting the credit. But there's the klaxon. The first period comes to a close. We're 20 minutes down after the first. It's for Sheffield Shadows 1, Kingston Diamonds 3. We're going to take a quick break. The team's going to have their talking to. And we'll be back in 3 minutes' time for the second period of this Yorkshire Women's Derby. Second period underway then. The perfect way to end the period, getting one back for the Shadows, and whatever was said in the break has certainly rejuvenated them a bit. For the block shot from the points cleared out, and Stocks is going to have to get her legs moving as Katie Marsden's chasing her down. Up the boards nicely out to Taylor Lonsdale, who had a stellar period, was a part of that play that brought the goal in the final 9 seconds. She gets tripped up entering the zone though, and now it pops out to the opposite side as Marsden has her stick lifted by Allsop, and she's forced wide. The Diamonds getting a defensive change. There's no one up at the point, And the wraparound chance just gets evaded. Well defended again by Alsop. Good shift from her. As Kinghorn just got out of place, wristed in from the point. It's loose, and a brilliant save by Jess Kinghorn. And a penalty drawn for good measure as well. And Ishbel Wright unable to push the puck forward. But a great defensive shift from the Shadows. And brilliant work from Jess Kinghorn as well to deal with that rebound. She was slow post to post, almost looked certain for the wraparound. All sopped as well. And now, you'd think, we're not got a Diamonds player in the box yet. The arm went up as someone got tripped. Oh, well, there's not going to be a penalty. Well, what did we put the arm up for then? Because the net looked to be on. Well, that is certainly bemusing. The Shadows still clear it out. And Potts just fluffs on the pass to try to get it central to Zalossi. A couple of Shadows players just trip over each other. And now Forbes walks in. She's offside though. Back out in front of the Diamonds bench to play is going to have to go. Emerson. That's wristed in and just wide of Kinghorn as one of the bodies trying to crash that home. That was Clara Ashton. Now the Shadows move forward again. It's with Alicia Potts. A couple of bodies cross over and a little bit frustrated. Trying to shove Millie Fulborn off the puck. Fulborn plays it into the corner. Fresh personnel out for the Diamonds. Couldn't hold it in though. That bobble's over and is on the long change. Hayley Reynolds trying to pick a lucky one. Couldn't settle the puck down, and now Katie Marsden brings it back over the blue line. Stuck on a backhand. Forced wide by Kelly Walsh. They get it back up to the point though. Unsettled to move it forward. Closing in. Marsden has her shot blocked and Reynolds will get it out, and there's a 2-on-1 for the Shadows. Yellow Bilby just tied up and forced wide as Reynolds push herself towards the goal in front, and now it's back with the Shadows number 36. Up to Piri. Cleared out by the Diamonds, but Marsden was trying to straggle low. But it was tidied up nicely by the Shadows. Now the Diamonds push forward again. Saunders dancing around Wilson, who hit the deck. Rather unconventional style of defence there. Just goes under the stick of Hayley Reynolds. Centre through. Wilson, his first with for the Shadows. Phoebe Gregg, that tall, imposing body, helps it out over the blue line, but not able to control the puck. And it's back with the Kingston side. Rayner. Gregg getting over the blue line, quickly lifted towards the goal. Slow to tidy up the rebound was for Diamonds, so it at least allowed Rayner to flick something back towards the net of Emily Johnson. Pushing forward again, it's Fulborn. Feels like she's been out for the best part of 2 minutes here. Stuck on her backhand, couldn't centre it through. just hitting the side of the netting. Will be cleared out by Rayner. There's not a white and blue jersey to chase onto it. As Phoebe Gregg was just crawling down. So Isabel Oswin briefly tidied it up, but kept it at the blue line and able to shot towards the goal of Johnson again. Cross back door, just falling off the stick of Ketsia Robinson. Up to the point. Spinning off it there. Slow to close down the forward in the slot with the Diamonds. They'll still tidy up, and it's still full-born out there. She's nearly brought down, and fresh off the bench is Emma Taylor-Lonsdale. She's waiting for assistance as there's a couple of changing bodies. She still pushes on and crashing into Emily Johnson. Couldn't quite get the shot away. The Diamonds back the other way. Lifted across out in front. Brilliant pass to find Newlove. Standing tall is Jess Kinghorn, and she's really grown into this game nicely. Straight out to the point, Cooper, that control, playing it across, and Melissa Veal unable to hold on to it, and great forechecking there from Taylor Lonsdale, forces a face-off down at the other end. Really busted a gut that time. And that's the sort of effort the Shadows are going to need to get themselves back in this game. The scoreboard says Sheffield are winning, we apologise. It's the other way around. It's a 3-1 game to Kingston. Potts gets the turnover. It's easily saved though by Johnson. Tripping over the blue line there was Marsden, I believe. Now it's brought back in by Potts. One-handed on a stick, couldn't drag it between bodies. The Diamonds step forward. Taylor dropped off to Marsden. This top line's looking to get everything through her, the Kingston number 14. Oh, a big block there by Wilson. Now she's going to get a one or no. Emerson's getting back quickly. Can she get a shot off? She can, but tied up. And able to play it out as well as Johnson. Potts down the central lane again. Wristed in from range. That a sharp kick to it. And the fresh legs off the bench. So with Cheetham, here's a stick lifted and pocket picked. There's a penalty going to be called against Tate. We're now actually going to, we will get a penalty. It's going to be a hooking call. And Tate protested, and you know, you've got to feel that's a bit harsh. It seems like she's been given a 2-minute penalty for stick lifting there. Didn't seem to pull Cheetham back. Just looked to cleanly pick a pocket from here. But nonetheless, Shadows get their first power play of the game eventually. So special teams so far has been quality for the Shadows. Their penalty kill was excellent and a great opportunity to bring it back to a 1-goal game. Slows spotting it across the stock. She's not closed down quick enough. Gets the shot away, but the Shadows have to move the puck a little bit quicker there. Taylor Lonsdale without assistance now. Ishbel Wright gets it away from her. Taylor Lonsdale in front. Just pushed down to the left-hand side when the space was on the right. The Diamonds survived momentarily. Flipping it in front again. And a little bit in discomfort. Looks to be Johnson in goal. Perhaps her leg pads come off. Grabbing a back of a left thigh. Looks to be okay though in the Diamonds goal. Poorly getting that away though. And that's the first minute of the power play gone for the Shadows. Wilson gets there first, so no icing. Nearly tripped up. Begging for it at the point is one of the fresh legs, but closing in loose and nearly. But just not getting enough onto it. That time was Eva Zalossi at the top of the crease. Straight into the leg pad of Emily Johnson. There's 43 seconds left on the power play for the Shadows to win the face-off and quickly getting a shot away, but looping into the glove. Again, scrambling forward, kick save made. Walsh quickly getting it across. Probably should have shot herself, but it gets it over to Potts, who couldn't feed it through the traffic, and that's cleared out, and there's not long left on the power play for the Shadows. Good block though by Eva Zalossi. Gets the puck back down into the opposite corner. Oh, turnover in a dangerous place. Wilson just couldn't spin it round her. And Johnson jumps on it again. There's a handful of seconds left on the first power play of the game for the Shadows. So we approach the halfway stage. Dangerous out in front. Block it over the bar. Shadow just leaving the centre all alone at the top of the slot. Or top of the crease, sorry. Try and fix the rest of the scoreboard as well. So we've now got the names sorted, but the logos are the wrong way around. So I'll have that fixed momentarily for you. Taylor Lonsdale, a good stick, denies the centering pass. It's cleared out by a swiping stick of Lexi Bilby. The puck just falling out the other side. It's played in. That's looked to go offside. It hit one of the Shadows players, but no harm, no foul. Pushing on is Katie Marsden. Wrist in from range. The rebound was offered up. Swiped across, but there's no right defender as Wallace had started covering the centre, and that's going to go down for icing. We'll get a pause in play. Trying the wrap around again. There's not bodies over on the far side. Most of the Shadows can clear it out. back up to the point for the Diamonds. Good passage of play from them, putting the pressure back on. The Shadows have started finding their groove a little bit. Cheetham gets it out of the scrum, but she gets tied up straight after again. Back turned, it nearly deflected off the skate of the forward lurking low. Potts can't get it in. It's going to have to be collected again, down at the boards with Cheetham. Potts chasing at the half board. Can't beat past Marples. Cheetham, despite that long reach of hers, can't get it off Millie Fernbull. An entering zone, it's a 3-on-1. Now bodies come back for the Shadows. Mia Forbes out in front. Couldn't settle the pass down. Now in a 2-on-1 down low for the Shadows. The back door's there. Robinson tied up at the last second. Cooper. Stocks collects in her own zone for the Shadows. Through the middle, it's just catching off guard the centre there, and it's not going to be an icing as both Marsden and Stocks got a nick onto it. Marsden not quick enough to get it round the opposite corner, but a good bit of strength. Gets the puck off of Allsop. Staying tall in the scrum though. Now it pops out. Marsden's there. Now towards Wallace at the point. That looked to go offside. One timer's going to loop wider than it. Wallace this time has no question if that's going to stay onside or not, but called into action was Kinghorn. And now she might need it again as trailing in low was Taylor. Left all alone. Marsden collects the loose puck. Pounced on by Allsop. Cleared out in a bit of a rush. We approach 5 minutes left in the second period. It's with Kate Taylor again. A little rushed and she'll ice the puck. Back up towards the Kingston zone. The Shadows will be able to take it. Pops out towards Walsh in her own zone. Quickly gets it out wide to Wilson, who got that 1-on-0 chance earlier. Shot wide in the net, collected down and out the opposite side, but the Diamonds again defending well, trying to play the body there onto Marsden, but she can get it out, but it's an unsettled pass, which couldn't be held onto by Taylor, and now Hayley Reynolds moves forward again. On her backhand, she's pushed wide at a puck, slow to get a body in front of the goal. To be Emma Taylor Lonsdale, it comes round again and a weird deflection off the boards. Didn't rim round for Phoebe Gregg. She'll still get it back. She's got to wait for Wilson to get back onside. Now she can move forward. Can't get across to the opposite side as trailing in was Tilly Rayner. And now a chance for the Diamonds again. Brilliant save off the helmet of Kinghorn and tied it up as well. That was Kelly Walsh who had quick 2 it away from the Kingston forward. Got kick save again, clearing that through the paint. Couple of bodies getting down low on towards Millie Fulbourn. Doesn't cause the Shadows any harm right now, though. They'll get a defensive change. They're going to have to be quick here. Well, Phoebe Gregg was too slow to push it forward. Fullborn looking hopeful for a blue and green jersey to connect to there, but it comes out the other end, and the first person to it was Eva Zalossi, who stands tall against Cooper. Backhands that away to Captain Walsh. Just winds up and sends one towards the net. Comfortably pushed off the pads of Johnson, but Phoebe Gregg still there now with a body closing in. Just lifted too high for Emma Taylor-Lonsdale. Still, the Shadows roll forward. Pirrie, Taylor-Lonsdale back turn, decides to play the body, and now trips player up. We saw a body checking call earlier, and then a trip. Fullborn looks to be in some discomfort. We'll have the play blown dead for the player on the ice. I believe that is Millie Fullborn who's down injured. Taylor-Lonsdale, well, could have called 2 penalties there in the space of 5 seconds on the initial interference or body check, whichever one you'd rather call, which seemed rather silly when just turned her back to the puck when she was the prime target for the pass. And then the trip there, which has caused some discomfort to the player. So with 2.5 minutes left in this period, still 3-1 to the visitors in this Yorkshire Women's Derby. And so far it's been a steady showing from the Shadows. It was always going to be a tough task against top of the division Kingston Diamonds. Relegated last year from the Elite League. Undefeated, 9 wins, 1 draw, as we said earlier. The Shadows, 4 wins, 4 losses, and then they split that with 1 tie. So it was Millie Fullborn, gets back up to her feet, thankfully. She's able to skate it off as well, so should see her back in the game. Be a big loss for the Diamonds without her. These long shifts she's been taking have been full of workload. So back underway then. Flicked into the zone by Ketsia Robinson. Trying to knock it off the back of Johnson in goal as they'd gone behind. But now Marsden staring down a barrel of a one-on-one. Gets past Perry, but nice save again by Kinghorn. With a couple of blips in the first period, but since then she's been absolutely stellar. A Newlove shot gets tipped the wrong side of the goal. Diamonds looking to push on with a pace again. They've dropped the player out of the zone though, a little bit peculiarly. And that was Taylor, a bit unnecessary trying to close in, was never going to get the puck there. As Kinghorn holds on. And those little bit of scrappy doos that's been in this game still maintain present. We're now less than 90 seconds away from the second period break. We hope you're all enjoying the coverage of the first Sheffield Shadows ice hockey team stream here on YouTube. With the benefits of being on YouTube, you do have the chat If there is any issues, whether with sound, connection, whatnot, you can let us know. Don't be afraid to give your voice and opinions. We'll always want to improve it. And looking to improve in this game is Alicia Potts. She's gone on strength to strength, going coast to coast, getting a face-off down the other end. The shot, not as creative as it would have needed to be, straight into the chest of Johnson. But again, the Shadows, still the most recent goal in the game at the back end of the first period. And perhaps another late surge at the back end of the second could put them with the momentum they need. These team talks that they had, whatever was said in the break of the first period, certainly was massively beneficial to them. Kinghorn had to come out and play that over-centering past the Shadows. Scrambling about to get set the wraparounds there. The stick closing down late. That was Caitlin Stocks, who again has been top class in defence. And now Potts has that poked away from her head to the sky in frustration. She's going to have to get back though. Well, now for linesman Skates, done her a bit of a favour. Stocks out wide. Wristed wide of the net. Potts, shake of red behind her player. That's round for Forbes, and she'll just slow the play down. Shot blocked by Stocks again. That's got to be a fifth of the game. She's been very brave in front of all these shots, and Kinghorn again standing tall in the final few seconds of the period. One last chance to get that goal. Six seconds left, going to have to be quick off the face-off. It nearly found its way to Mia Forbes, but should be cleared out. That's going to be it then. 40 minutes down, we have 20 left with this Saturday afternoon Yorkshire Women's Derby. A scoreless period. It remains Sheffield Shadows 1, Kingston Diamonds 3. We're back in 3 minutes time for the conclusion of this stellar game. 20 minutes on the clock to decide this Sheffield Women's Derby. And the Diamonds in prime position right now, but the Shadows have been getting better and better. And a 0-0 period, some stellar stuff from both Jess Kinghorn and Emily Johnson kept it as such. And the most recent goal with the Shadows, one more for them, and the momentum, the pendulum might start swinging their way. But this Kingston side, he's not going to want to let the home team get into their groove. But Emma Taylor-Lonsdale opening up a bit of space here on the near side. Her line mate's going to change. She's got no one to rush onto with it. Just play into a corner and chase. And it's those chances you'd feel like maybe the Shadows need to take advantage of. And have both D change and only one forward. Give Emma Taylor-Lonsdale someone to go up with her. Because she was left with a 1 versus 4 on the far side board. And a chance that should have been a one-on-one. Ends up not even getting down deep in towards the Kingston zone. And they're back down in the Shadows third of the ice. Looking to find their fourth. Leicester. Well, she'd space to shoot, but looking up at a target. Had the puck fall off a stick and now it's cleared out. Sophie Rose Davis just unable to push forward there. Now it's back to Alicia Potts, who's looked hungry this game. Stick lifted by Tate. We had that called a penalty earlier against her. Not this time. Good to see Millie Fulborn back up on her feet. And Ashton, lovely work, pushing forward on her hands. Brilliant save again, standing tall. Jess Kinghorn shutting that down. Apologies for the clock. It's been a little weird with how it's set up. We are trying to find a way to fix it. That may not be an imminent thing, but in future streams it is something that we are trying to find the problem and get it sorted. That's going to go down the length of the ice, but Katie Marsden has got a few lengths there on Cheatham, so she's able to get it back up. And now fresh legs on as well. Good bit of urgency from the Diamonds off the blocker of Kinghorn. Marsden picking it back up. I got flat on a stick for a minute in the air, but sensibly played it back down to the ice, but slow moving are her teammates, so the Shadows able to pick it off her quickly, but not able to clear the blue line as Veal plays it out across to Taylor. Good stick there. Gets it towards Hayley Reynolds. It just can't be flipped onside. And Wilson smartly plays that back down into her own half of the ice. Now they can get on. So Phoebe Gregg. Allsop. Out to Cheatham. Reynolds again, she'll turn and see a little bit of space under Pisa White in front of her as the Diamonds were changing. Wilson's shot blocked that, left a bit of a sting there onto Oswin. Marsden. Stepping forward, brought down was Oswin in the slot. She trying to connect some form of tape onto that puck. Out to Tilly Rayner again at the half boards. Doesn't have strength in numbers moving forward, but it's a lovely pass to get it through to Phoebe Gregg, but a mishandle. Eventually he'll hit the deck, but there's still space for Tilly Rayner. Off the left leg pad of Johnson. There was space, but there was a gap between the post and her pad. But head down there from Sophie Rose Davis. She couldn't put it home. And if she could find her eyes to the little black circle of rubber, would surely be back in a 1-goal game. And it's the best chance the Shadows have had in a long period of this game. And a risky pass has gone in their favour anyway. He's back with Rayner to Davis. Tidied up though by Oswin coming back. Although it's turned over dangerously, it's a good shot there from Robinson, a bit of indecision. And Johnson's forced to cover that up. And the Diamonds, with 5 minutes gone in this final period, perhaps feeling the pressure a bit there. A little bit of panic, nearly making what could have been a costly mistake. With 15 minutes to go. Bilby off the boards towards Robinson, but is away from her. And going full circle, trying to break out quick there. The centre just had the puck played behind them. Big slap shot from range, comes out the other side. Marple's quick to dish it back down low, but it's took a deflection some way along its path, and it's cleared out by the Shadows. I think for a moment they had a place for that bobbled onto the Kingston bench. Alas, it hasn't. Will step forward again, losing sight of the puck, and now settle down on Alicia Potts' stick. Trying to move on with speed. She's not got assistance there. Taylor Lonsdale's taken the wrong path and wanted to go for a change. Probably should have pushed on in these moments. One of the top 2 forwards in this game for the Shadows. The way she's been playing, you'd want her out for a bit longer. Especially to assist with Alicia Potts, who also has been quality. She closes down again, trying to bat it in. It's a high stick. Hadn't gone in anyway. Diamonds touch the puck back up, so that's waved off. Potts losing control, and now Yellow Bilby's going to have to step up. She gets bulldozed. And that helps its way to Eva Ezzi, who in turn is trying to drag it round. That's blocked off by Kelly Walsh's leg. Back round to Davis. Slow to move there was Kelly Walsh. Leicester alike, but neither defender wanted to push onto the puck as Marsden gets that through. Leicester a bit of indecision to push onto it, allows Alicia Potts to get on top, the wrong side of the centre line, but it's hit one of the defenders for Kingston, so there's going to be no icing. Turns over towards Hayley Reynolds. Unable to drag it round though, she sits down Leicester. And the pace of this game just slowing down that little bit. Bobbling towards the net again, Reynolds trying to force it away from Johnson, who just gets a stick on to hold, or to bring it back into a body. She'll hold on. 7:21 gone in this final period. Couple of more good chances there for the Shadows. Perry backhands that towards Vanessa Johnson. Well, the referee screaming no reaction, but a bit of accidental contact with Johnson, as whoever it was in the crease had just tripped themselves up and fell on the goalie. Now the game's quieting down a little bit from the first period, where we had a couple of big moments of handbags from the contact. Referee is going to have a discussion about something. I doubt anything's going to come from it. Oh, no. Oh, we are. Roughing is going to be called. So, Kingston down a skater again. Zoe Marples is going to go to the box for roughing. So, a third power play opportunity for the Shadows. Good little 50-50 wins there for the Shadows. Gets the puck moving towards the goal. Just wide of Annetta Johnson. She's slow to get back set. She's now ready. Taylor Lonsdale will get that back up to the point. Slapped in, blocked along its path. And still closing in Taylor Lonsdale. It's loose. Down in front of the goal. Johnson was screened and it's cleared out by the Diamonds. And from the reaction and noise, you can tell how much that means to them. And they know how crucial that was. As again, it's another one of those opportunities that the Shadows just aren't capitalising on. So, Sophie Davis. Sent towards the net of Longhorn. Just going to hold on to it, and a little bit of frustration there from Caitlin Stocks. Wanted her to play it out. And aches of time to just chuck it into the corner or something, but instead they've given the ever-threatening Kingston an offensive zone face-off whilst we're on the penalty kill. Get a shot away, but it's only a field goal and nearly bobbled in. As slow to get set was Kinghorn. Caught up at the boards again. Great pressure from the Diamonds now. The Shadows will get it out with Alicia Potts. Oh, brilliant toe drag through one. Potts from range, it's straight into the glove though. She's been given opportunities, but not creative and enough. The shots straight at the chest again of Johnson. She could have a handful in this game. Got to start trying to pick those corners. Now Wilson. Kept in at the blue line by Walsh. Trying to play it down the half board again, but Wilson stepped off it. And now just in the corner. There's no help for the Shadows. Now Potts will get in, but it's too late. It's more seconds killed off. Back with Potts though. Zalossi's there across, but Potts has gone selfish. And now Will Fulborn comes the other way. Short-handed. The Diamonds killing off more time. Looped over in the mood of the Super Bowl. Getting a field goal there. And nearly getting it off the wraparound. Aggressively played down. That kicked off the leg there. Should have been a too many men call. There's 5 players on the ice for a long time for Kingston, and in turn Fulborn gets it pushing forward again. Round the back of the net it goes. It's tidied up by Welsh. Back to full strength. 5 on 5. And a rather uneventful power play for the Shadows. Great aggression from the Diamonds. And it's a lovely pass across. Trying to put the game out of reach. But it's off the mask again of Kinghorn. Drop down to Forbes. Playing it into the slot, but unable to connect to it with Ziva Reze. But now it's loose for Hayley Reynolds at the top of her own zone. She pushes forward. It's going to be a 3-on-2 entering the zone. Just crawling in, though. Not much speed coming out from the Shadows. And Reynolds forced down to the boards, and it's quickly cleared away. Taylor. Lovely move. Gets herself to 1-0. Trying to tuck it home, and she does. Over 30 minutes since we last saw a goal. And that's a crucial one. You thought whoever this next goal goes to will probably swing the game. And it's gone the way of Kingston. Instead of the Shadows bringing it within 1 and having the momentum, the Diamonds extend it back to a 3-goal lead. And now with 9 minutes left in the game, or just under that, It's an absolute mountain to climb. And looking in, closing in for a fifth in a game. Marsden just couldn't get it past the pad of Kinghorn. It's back down low to her. Moving with urgency. Marples waits at the point. But that path now gets closed down, but trailing in from the opposite wing. It's off the leg pad again of Kinghorn. Nicely done by the Shadows. It was just a little bit too slow there from Newlove. But it's still back with Newlove as the Shadows unable to clear out their lines. Closing again, the back doors there. And it's rolling over the stick of Newlove. The Shadows are just completely left the left winger. Completely unchecked. Now Tyler, the forward, up down at the boards. And the player will blow dead and a couple of bodies will collapse in as well. Back low, it's a lovely pass played out from Gemma Wallace. But Diamonds couldn't capitalise on the opportunity it was given again. The Shadows just stepping too high up, leaving the last forward completely unattended. Now we have 7 minutes to find 3 goals. You're not Bilby. She turns that one over. And as the Diamonds on a change, they step back forward with Tate. That's a cheap giveaway again the other way. That's Robinson. Just missing Ishbel Wright. Robinson just looks tired for the Shadows. That allows Veal to go back D to D, kept in by Potsfo, and now she's got a bit of space. She's not been offered much of this, but it's blocked away by Johnson. Another top-class save from the young Kingston netminder. And it's unable to be kept in at the blue line. And Walsh gets pressed. The Diamonds again. Here we just control the pace of the game. The torn up ice is slowing the play down as well. The puck just came to a standstill in front of the benches where all that snow is. Zalossi. Cheaply given across towards Emerson. Her shot's blocked by Yellow Bill. Bit of an aggressive whack there from Potts. Then nearly bulldozes a teammate. Potts nearly called, probably should have been called for a slash there. Still can clear it out by the Shadows. And now as they'd gone offside, Wilson stepping forward, gets round Marples. Davis waits in the middle. She crashes into the netminder. The Shadows still charging forward. Backhanded down low. Pushed down was Davis. Wilson not quick enough to swipe that away. And now Peary, they've just gone too cautious on the blue line. And in the final few minutes, the Shadows are going to have to start finding that bit of aggression. Maybe if they snag one in the next minute, back to a 2-goal game, pull the netminder. Anything can happen at that point. Well, I need to get the puck back. It's with Leicester. Played down the corner. Back up to Leicester. She's got space to shoot and shoot into it. And an unsteady save from Kinghorn. back over the blue line. You look, Bilby. Just unhappy with a little bit of a push he was given there. And as Wilson thought she was going to step forward. Oh, a remarkable tip. Somehow the puck found its way back in towards the Kingston zone. It was messy. It was brought in by Marsden, picking the pocket of Wilson. And Cheatham just found herself in front of the goal. Opens up a backhand. It ramps up into the top corner. And we said within the next minute, if the Shadows can get one, anything can happen. And making the most of the bodies in front, finally the Shadows get something from it. Now they only trail by 2. Still the Diamonds lead by 4 goals to 2. Bit of a timeout still in their pocket they can use. I said that bit of aggression's gonna need to come. It's just under the triangle of Taylor. Aggressive from Zalossi, now with Rayner. Across to Greg, trying to get it back through to Rayner, but couldn't get a speed moving. But we know she's got a bit too cautious about being offside there. And again, it might be those risks that you might have to start taking. Going that second earlier. Because if it pays off, it will work, but it's not to be. It's back the other way, the Diamonds respond quickly. And caught having to defend a 2-on-1. They get their 5th. Now there's 3 minutes left. And whatever hope they thought they may have had may quickly be simmering away. Good work off the face of from Ketsia Robinson. Needs to play this pass quickly out in front and nearly out in front again. Trying to get it through, and they do! Brilliant response from the Shadows. And it's Emma Taylor-Lonsdale getting the reward she so desperately deserved. And a fantastic response started by the urgency of Ketsia Robinson. Straight off the face-off, pushing down. The first pass didn't connect, but they hustled. And well, back to a 2-goal game. Still none the wiser then at who could come out on top. It's 3 goals in the space of about 90 seconds. And Emma Taylor-Lonsdale, we can see she's in a hurry, ahead straight up off the puck. They fancy this for Shadows. Great urgency again from Walsh, sent towards Vanetta Robinson. The rebound came out handedly. Second chance gets blocked by Rascaton. Fulborn's going to come out back the other way. Moving forward with her is Emerson. She's a long way offside though, Emerson. You could park a bus in the gap between her and the blue line, and if the Shadows concede here, looking back, they're going to feel massively aggrieved as they completely fluff it to clear it out. It's not going to make it for icing, surely, as it just plugged the Diamonds' protest, but the old ice not being their friend at all, and Potts coming in with a bit of aggression, nearly gets the turnover, couldn't quite connect them. This time, the Shadows will get an icing. And they'll have to, well, the Diamond players are going to protest to save a bit of time to get that little bit of breathing space. And the longer they do this little bit of gamesmanship is going to benefit the visiting side. And the Shadows just need to quickly get set and get ready. Do they have something clinical drawn up here? Couldn't win the face-off. They scrambled to it. It's out to the point. Cheatham, who got that lovely tip into the top corner, couldn't get a shot away, and now the Diamonds come back the other way. Brilliant back check from Sophie Davis. Out to Potts, and she's got space. She's round one. Potts is going to hurry on here. Coming back is Marsden, and brilliant back checking there from the GB International. Back again though, Potts, second time round this shift, gets it down along the half board. She'll play it into the corner, but Davis doesn't chase onto it as quick as she'd like. A little awkward deflection off the boards though, gets it back to Potts, and Wilson had to find herself skating the opposite way. Cleared out by Veal, she gets hit hard into the boards. An elbow right through the back. Couldn't stretch it down the middle though, it's only given up to Marsden. Tate's there in front and she can't connect fully. Again, snatching off the heel. It's been a habit from both sides in this game. We're into the final minutes of play. Miracle needed for the Shadows. Tate muscled off. The arm stays down for the referee. Scrambling in the slot. We saw one of these going earlier, but jumping on it's going to be Kinghorn. Taking no chances this time round. She's going to completely annihilate any opportunity to put that in. There's going to be a timeout called for the Shadows. With 45 seconds left in the game. What do Michael Zalossi and co have drawn up for their side? What's going through the mind of the players? What words of wisdom do the coaches have as the seconds tick down on the timeout? Good start then for the Diamonds. They win the face-off, but it's quickly held on to as they try to crash the net. Off the boards, it finds its way brief to a Shadows player, but with their back turned. The Diamonds quickly get it in. That pings out of play. And another face-off just to add to the tension. Puck just came to a standstill off the face-off, flicked into the shadow zone, quickly jumping on it is Mia Forbes. And 2 goals needed. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Forbes just plays it into the centre. She's trying to kill off any bit of time. Just hoping for the left defender will get there. And as Kinghorns come out to deal with it, it's deflected off. And with 15 seconds left in the game, that's the 6th for the Diamonds. Back to a 3-goal lead. And any hope the Shadows have is completely gone. Fulbourn's going to step forward. One last offensive play for the visitors. Perhaps finding a 7th. They're just going to hold it in the corner though. Clock's going to tick away. And in the Yorkshire Derby, it's victory to the Diamonds. They remain undefeated. Final score, Sheffield Shadows 3, Kingston Diamonds 6. Player of the Game awards are right around the corner. A few shouts then, well, for the Shadows. I think Alicia Potts was all over the place, as well as Emma Taylor-Lonsdale. Caitlin Stocks defended brilliantly. Certainly, especially on the power plays, that 5-on-3 Stocks had a remarkable kill. So she could certainly be up there. For the Diamonds, well, could be a number of people. Millie Fulbourn taking those long, draining shifts. Katie Taylor, great effort from her as well. Emily Johnson in the goal. Take your pick from them. They'll be coming up in just a moment's time. So in player of the game for the Kingston Diamonds, number 5, Melissa Veal. Quality on the blue line for the Diamonds today. Top class, keeping it active on the blue line, keeping those offensive plays rolling. She'll come away with the player of the game award for the visitors. And rightly so, Emma Taylor Lonsdale getting it for the Shadows. Multi-point game for her. And if they were ever going to come back, she would have been one of the key stars in it. But that's all we've got time for then today. I hope you enjoyed, barring the few technical issues which we apologise for. We will do our best to get them sorted. We're still working out the clock and how we can deal with that. But stick with us, we are going to have the best stream in all of the WNIHL. But from all of us here at the Sheffield Shadows, we'll see you next time. From myself, Dylan Pick, and everyone here, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye.